Hello friends! Today we're talking about the Alfa Romeo Spider, a car I happen to own, so I've already heard all your jokes. And yes, I know about something called the Mazda Miata. Let's be honest, I'm shooting YouTube videos in the back of my Eurovan. Do you really think I would own something as sensible as a Mazda Miata? And besides, there is plenty to love about the Alfa Romeo Spider, like timeless beauty, a price and condition for almost every budget, and membership in a community that shares the experience of all of the quirks of Italian car ownership. I'll get into all of that, but first, some history. The production run went from 1967 to 1993, and that's subdivided into 4 individual series. It all started in 1966, when Alfa Romeo introduced the new Spider 1600 to the world at the Geneva Motor Show. Briefly named the Duetto, the early Spiders are known for their sloping rear trunk, sometimes referred to as boat tail. In 1967, Mike Nichols made the car famous in his film The Graduate, which raises the Spider's profile here in the United States. Surprisingly, the boat tail style, designed and built by Pininfarina, was not universally loved at the time. Road and Track referred to it as a contrived design with meaningless styling gimmicks, which seems not only wrong, but kind of mean. Underneath, the Spider had pretty advanced hardware for the time, a twin-cam engine, 5-speed transmission, and 4-wheel disc brakes. Early Spiders came with 3 engines, a 1.6-liter, a 1.3-liter in the junior model, and a 1.8-liter that replaced the 1.6, and confusingly is referred to as the 1750, not because of its displacement, but as an homage to the 6C 1750 race car. In 1970, the Spider was updated to a shape that would define the rest of the run, with a squared-off trunk referred to as the camtail. In 1971, US models got the new 2-liter engine, which would be the only option stateside until the end. These Series 2 cars are further divided between 70 to 74 and 75 to 81, the later cars featuring big rubber bumpers required by the 5-mile-per-hour impact test. Series 3 came in 1982 or 1983, depending on who you ask. 82 brought Bosch electronic fuel injection, replacing the trusty Spica mechanical fuel injection used on American market cars. And 83 saw new front and rear bumpers, plus the shark fin spoiler on the back of the trunk. In 1985, the Spider made its second most important appearance on film with a pivotal role in the movie Fletch, which you should watch again or rewatch for a number of reasons. In 1986, the twin cowl instrument cluster was replaced by a single gauge pod, and there were 2 new models. At the top, the Quadrifoglio Verde, or green cloverleaf. I always get this wrong, it's Foglio, not Folgio. It came with unique red carpet and gray seats, a removable hardtop, and exclusive 15-inch wheels that are so heavy my mechanic says it makes the car drive like a tractor. But, whatever, they look good. This year also brought the Graduate model, a recognition of the importance of the movie in the Spider's history. The Spider finished with Series 4, introduced in 1990 and coming to the US in 1991. These cars have new rear taillights, new front and rear bumpers, Bosch Motronic fuel injection, a driver's side airbag, and power steering. You could also get an automatic transmission. All of that extra stuff came with a significant weight penalty, but, this isn't a Miata, like I said. If you want a fun light sports car, get the Mazda, or at least get an older Spider that's easier to tune. Which is one of the great things about the Alfa Romeo Spider. You have nearly endless options in terms of upgrading, backdating, or customizing. The flip side of that coin is that if you own an Alfa Romeo Spider, you will almost always have something to work on. And let me be clear, these are not unreliable cars. Compared to a British Roadster, they're almost German. The electronics are good, the engine is pretty robust, and they will rarely leave you stranded. When something goes wrong on an Alfa Romeo, you are going to know about it way before it becomes catastrophic. And an upside to that long production run means that pretty much every problem has already been solved and is posted on an internet message board. That said, these cars can be high maintenance. For example, if you're not comfortable doing a valve adjustment every 20,000 miles, as specified in the service guidelines, or paying to get it done, this is not the car for you. You are also definitely going to want to know a good Alfa mechanic, even if you do work yourself. They are a wealth of knowledge, they're a good resource for hard-to-find parts, and they can do bigger jobs faster and better than most of us. You will pay for that expertise, but can you really put a price on the peace of mind of owning a fine-tuned Italian automobile? I think the bad reputation is overstated, and partly due to the fact that these are old cars, and parts, especially rubber, wear out. Also, as Spiders have been affordable for a long time, there's a bunch of examples that have been neglected and are now total basket cases. This happens with cars from every automaker, but for some reason the Italians always get the bad rap. Which brings me to shopping for an Alfa Romeo Spider, and I'm going to be very general here. There are a lot of little things you should learn about and know how to inspect. But big picture, the main things to look for are rust and leaks, and then determine how much you're willing to tolerate. Rust is so common on these cars, I'm scared to park mine outdoors. I'm probably being a little paranoid, but make sure you give a potential purchase a thorough inspection because rust is widespread on these cars. Good place to look is under the trunk near the gas tank and in the spare tire well. As for the leaks, the fewer the better, and a good car won't have any leaks at all. Yes, they do exist, but you can also take it on a case-by-case basis. A little bit of oil on the engine block, but no drips. You'll have to fix that eventually, but you can probably drive it in the meantime. A pile of transmission fluid in the shape of a bell housing under your car, that, my friend, means you're going to have to remove the transmission and get the seals redone. Ask me how I know. On that note, Alfa Romeo Spiders are notorious for grinding into second gear. Again, this is something you'll probably have to fix eventually over the course of ownership, but if you're a careful owner, you'll only have to do it once. There are also common wear items that are either expensive or a pain to replace, or both. Replacing the convertible top, for instance, is no small task. Engine mounts are prone to sagging. If you're looking at a car with a cracked dash, know that you'll have to rip out most of the interior to replace that. Basically, Alfa Romeo Spiders are generally built pretty well, just not necessarily with ease of service in mind. And maybe I have automotive Stockholm syndrome, but that's part of the fun in owning one. Yeah, I know, a car that doesn't really need work is also fun, but there is something special about getting to know your car by turning a wrench. So, let's get to prices. Series 1 cars are now bona fide collector cars. In your face, 1960s road and track. They sell from anywhere from $20,000 up into the $70,000 range. Series 2, 3, and 4 Spiders are far more affordable and range from under $10,000 to more than $20,000, sometimes at random. Take these 3 examples we've sold so far on Hemmings auctions. Which one sold for the most? This 1986 Graduate with 142,000 miles and extensive service records? This 1991 example with an automatic and unknown mileage? Or this 2-owner car from 1991 with a refurbished interior? Trick question. They are all the same, or nearly. The first one went for $8,000, the other 2 went for $8,500. Meanwhile, as of this filming, you can find examples in the Hemmings Classifieds from $5,500 to almost $30,000. And yeah, there are a lot of cars in that price range, even if you're just looking at 2-seat convertibles. Some of them, arguably, are better cars than the Alfa Romeo Spider. I'm not here to tell you what to like, but I will tell you my car brings me a ton of joy. It's pretty, the engine sounds fantastic, and every time I drive it, it puts me in a good mood. And speaking of good moods, I'm sure there is something over at hemmingsauctions.com that will put a smile on your face. We have new cars going up for bids every single day, plus premium classifieds you can buy right now. And if you need to sell a car so that you're ready to buy an Alfa Romeo Spider or anything else, we can help you with that too. Plus, we have an email newsletter to get the latest auctions in your inbox every single morning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.